they're not going to give up until they've beaten Hamas after what they did. And would anybody in the world want to live with an organisation like that?
Promised to do it again and again and again.
You think 30,000 dead civilians, 70% of whom are women and children, is an effort to minimize civilian deaths?
Yeah, but 13,000 of those are Hamas.
The way I see it, 30,000 deaths is a horrific genocide, and it's actually unique for any major military confrontation or operation we've seen in modern history. What Israel's doing right now to the people of Gaza makes the Russian military look like a bunch of saints in Ukraine. It's disgusting what they're doing, and yes, it is a genocide.
No, but Hamas aren't letting the civilians in the tunnels, and 13,000 are Hamas dead,
Can you
aren't
stop
they?
shouting?
How many are dead of
excited.
13,000 Hamas?
It is not, and I repeat this, Jackson, just so you know, it is not a genocide. If it were a genocide, this would have been over months ago. And I think calling it a genocide and supporting the terrorists as you do is, and people like you, not just you, people like you, is keeping this conflict going. Why do you want to keep it going?
Why do you think a genocide is only supposed to take a month or 2 months? Do you know how long the Rwandan genocide lasted?
But the population's increased, I think, threefold. They're not very good at it, are they, Israel, for one of the most advanced army nuclear powers in the world?
Let's not to be too light about this.
Let's be real about this.
That's the point I'm making.
Let's be real about this. The reason why the population in Gaza has increased so much over the past several years is because of the fact that so many refugees have had to flee into Gaza as more and more of their land is stolen by the Zionists. In addition to that, I mean, if you think an increasing population means that there's nothing going wrong, look at apartheid South Africa, the population increase there. Look at Xinjiang in China, which I'm sure you probably believe.
It's just not a very good sign of genocide when it trebles the population. You not get my point.
You think there's a genocide happening in Xinjiang in China, like so many of your other mainstream media stooges?
I don't know about that. I've not got the facts on that. I'm not talking about that. Let's talk about what you talk about quite a lot. And you go on about, oh, well, this is, this is a genocide on the part of the Israelis, which is complete rubbish. But let me ask you this. How would you, if you were in charge, how would you bring this conflict to an end? Do you believe that Israel has a right to exist?
Well, I'm a U.S. citizen, so all I can talk about is U.S. policy with regard to bringing an end to what's going on. And I guess if you put me in that position, I would end all aid, military aid and financial aid to the state of Israel. If that did in fact take place, I think we'd see not only an end to the genocide that's currently ongoing, but also likely an end to any formidable defenses that Israel could muster in the near future.
And what would Hamas do? Wouldn't they
entirely reliant
They've said they would repeat.
Can you stop interrupting?
They said they would repeat October the 7th again and again and again.
Just a minute.
I mean,
will you shut up or you will have to go?
Important question.
Do you believe that Israel should exist?
I think that there should be a single state
yes
where
or no.
Israelis for Palestinians to live all happily together. I think there should be a single state for them to all live together.
So how will you achieve that?
Well, it's not up for me to decide. I don't live there. It's not my country. It's not my culture. I don't know. I mean, do you think that you as a British citizen should be able to tell people in a different continent how they should live and how they should govern themselves?
But the Americans do, and we do.
Absolutely not.
No,
but
right.
Why on earth? Well, we're partly responsible for the state of Israel.
Israel don't tell us what to do
but
when we're in Northern Ireland.
What Biden is making it more dangerous by continually calling for this ceasefire. And our Hamas, who are a terrorist organization, you grin. I don't know why you grin, but you know.
You think that Biden is, well, first of all, I mean, it's ludicrous to say he's actually means it when he's calling for a ceasefire, but you think that it's dangerous?
I do.
Dangerous to push for peace?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Well, I don't think he is pushing for peace.
It is, because Hamas have said they'll do it again and again. So it is dangerous to have a ceasefire.
Would bring about?
It would bring a Hamas attack again.
A ceasefire has to be on both sides. And I can't see Hamas actually agreeing to a ceasefire. And even if they agreed to it, why are you grinning? This is such a serious subject.
You seem to leave out the important part that Hamas has put Hamas has put forward various peace proposals and ceasefire proposals in the past.
They're not serious, are they? They wanted 1,000 prisoners. But anyway, answer this question.
How is that?
Hold on, mate.
So
Hold on.
Hamas wants political prisoners free, just like Israel does. So
okay,
what's so bad about that?
Of the 30,000 killed, how many are Hamas terrorists? Because Israel say it's 13,000. How many do you say? Because you just say 30,000 civilians have been killed.
We know that a handful of senior Hamas commanders and leaders were killed, but besides that, we don't have the facts and evidence.
10 people? 10
all
Hamas
we know
people,
is that
11?
there are 30,000. All we know is there are 30,000 civilians.
No, but Israel is saying
killed.
13,000 Hamas.
Maybe there was
Listen.
1,000 Hamas fighters killed. We don't know, but we know they just
Guys,
estimated.
stop talking to me, all of you. Listen,
There was 30,000. Here are the facts. Here are the facts.
No, they're not the facts, because nobody's actually been able to count all the people who've been killed. Nobody actually knows. It may be more, it may be less. Why don't you say to your friends in Hamas, put your weapons down and surrender?
Release the hostages.
Because you started it. Now surrender, and then we can have peace. Why don't you tell them to surrender?
Well, I don't think they should surrender. I think that
Well,
they're
then
fighting
you're just
for their
as bad
lands.
as
They're
they
fighting.
are.
They're fighting.
You're
they're
just
fighting
as
to bring.
bad as they are.
You asked me a question. Let me answer your question.
Well,
okay?
your question's going to upset me, but go on.
History didn't begin on October 7th. The people in Palestine have been persecuted, killed, genocided, and had their land stolen from them for decades upon decades. And now the moment that they stick their neck out and fight to get what is truly theirs back and
Sorry,
to bring
are
it
you
into this
actually
occupation,
really
you're
seriously
saying
coming
that
on
they
my
need to
show?
put down their
Just
arms?
a minute, Jackson.
That's insane.
Are you
That's
seriously
insane.
saying that they can justify, and you can justify what happened on the 7th by what Israel has done in the past? You justifying it?
He's saying rape is resistance.
Well, there was no rape from all accounts.
I see.
Oh,
Yeah.
someone
But
actually did the Holocaust happen?
This is why the last time I came
You're
on your show,
actually
I said that. The last time I came on your show,
did the Holocaust?
I said,
do you deny the Holocaust as well?
The last time I came on your show, I said that it's ironic that your show is called Unleash because you're leashed like a dog.
It was very
to the
funny when you
Zionists.
said that.
I'm not leashed
And it's
about
true.
anything.
You still are.
Are you
You're still
calling me a
repeating all their
Zionist?
propaganda.
Well, you are a Zionist.
30,000 people have died. 7,000 more since we last
Listen,
spoke.
this is an important
You're still
question.
repeating their propaganda.
This
It's
is
insane.
no propaganda. This is an important question. Do you believe the Holocaust happened?
Of course. And I
do.
believe that Joseph Stalin was probably one of the most heroic figures of all time
Who cares
for
about
bringing an
Stalin?
end to
What are you
Nazi
talking about?
Germany.
Why
think
don't you believe
that,
the rapes happen when it's on
guys-
Hamas camera, their own cameras?
All of you, shush a minute. Why do you think America is so keen on supporting Israel? Why do you think that although Biden's not doing enough, why do you think that they're so keen to support Israel in the Middle East?
It's very simple. Israel, just like Ukraine is for the United States to Russia, Israel is a proxy for the United States to achieve their political and geopolitical goals in the Middle East, to try and limit Russian influence in the region and to try and prevent Shia domination of the region.
So did you support Al-Qaeda and ISIS then?
Of course not. The CIA did.
So why don't you support ISIS?
Now you're into the hang on. Now you're into the realm of conspiracy theories, and a lot of these conspiracy theories, you've already skipped answering the question I asked you about whether or not what Israel is accused of doing in the past justifies October the 7th. You're trying to say, oh well, it didn't really happen. It wasn't as bad.
And a
as
handful of
everybody
Hamas terrorists have been killed.
Well, what I'll say is that it's not a conspiracy theory to say that Israel supported ISIS because actually they did. They provided Did you say who cares?
No, I said I think
Will
it
you
is
just
a
be quiet
conspiracy.
for a minute?
Oh, Israel supported ISIS in Syria. They provided them with air superiority. They gave medical treatment and aid to ISIS fighters and Al-Qaeda fighters when they were fighting in Syria.
Yeah.
And we all know that the one time ISIS accidentally launched a missile at Israel, they had to actually apologize to Israel. It's the only time ISIS has ever
Because they're
apologized.
Assad's
Will
enemy.
you be quiet for a minute?
They have
Why are you
common
still...
enemy.
Will you shut up or I will
Well, that's why.
sack you?
I'm just very simple
Do you-
answer.
Do you not feel out of kilter living in America? Why don't you go and live somewhere else? You obviously don't like America.
No, I love America. I just don't love the globalist elites and the neocon warmongers who run our country. My ancestors founded this country. They sailed here on the Mayflower. And
Rubbish.
It's up to people like
Rubbish.
It's up to people like
Rubbish.
me.
You stole the country from the
Native Americans.
Native Americans.
Yeah.
Don't be silly.
How dare you?
So you live in a country
We didn't
you stole.
steal anything.
You
We
did.
didn't steal anything.
Now we know
from
where
them.
you're coming from.
The British warmongers, like your ancestors, are the ones who sicked the Native Americans to genocide the colonists when
Do
they
you know,
came.
I
and
don't.
Oh, and you
I
just
don't
took
want.
advantage
The
of
fact of the matter is, it's up to people like me and my friends to save our country
You
from
and
the
your
warmongers
friends.
who are using our taxpayer dollars
got
to
friends?
genocide the people of Gaza and launch World War III against the Russians. I have no qualms with the people in Gaza or the people
It
in Russia.
just
I
sounds like
simply
you
want
hate
peace.
Jews. I mean, is that it? Come out and say, I don't like the Jews. I don't like what they do.
No, not at all.
You've
not
even,
at all,
you know,
actually.
you've insulted
Some
me
of my
by saying I'm a Zionist. I don't even know what that is.
Actually, it's not true. It's very anti-Semitic for you to say that. Some of my closest colleagues that
I
have
don't think
exposed the
so.
truth. Some of my closest colleagues who have exposed the truth about October 7th, like
What?
Max.
No, they haven't. Why have you been banned from YouTube?
Stop interrupting me. Some of my colleagues who have exposed the truth about October 7th, like Aaron Matte, Max Blumenthal, Dan Cohen, are all Jewish. Aaron Matte's
some of my
father,
friends are Jews, so I can't be anti-Semitic.
Aaron Matte's father
You can
was
be
a survivor of the
anti-Semitic and
Holocaust.
be Jewish?
Gabor Mate was a survivor of the Holocaust.
Hang on, two
and even
questions.
he has
'Cause
enough of a
got to go to a commercial break. What is this truth you're talking about? You're talking about your opinion. You're not talking about truth. And secondly, why has YouTube banned your program?
Well, my YouTube channel was banned because I tell the truth about what's happening in the world. The overwhelming majority of the world supports Russia and supports Gaza.
Why are you banned for telling the truth?
My
Why
truth.
have
It's
they
not
banned
my
you?
truth. It's the truth of the
Maybe
world.
it's a lie
The
that
fact
you're
of the matter is, I was banned because I go against the lies that are pushed by Big Pharma, the warmongers, and the
I've had
politicians.
enough. I'm sorry, Jackson.
You all continue to promote their lies, and that's why you're allowed.
No, Jackson.
Yes.
You are the person, and
you
people
don't have the
like
spine to
you,
even
who
call
actually
this what it is,
who
a
are
genocide.
making the
It's a
world a
genocide.
dangerous place
it's
because
not a
you
genocide,
talk
is it?
rubbish.
You just do that to be offensive to Jews, and it doesn't actually work. It's a bit pathetic.
We
saying
love you,
genocide.
Jackson.
Yeah, come on again.
You know, please do, but not for much.
But get rid of the
sooner.
beard.
Yeah,
Doesn't
shave
suit
it.
you. Doesn't
Why
suit
do you
you.
have to be like that? Doesn't matter. Oh, he's not. He's still there. I've had enough.
Did he? I hope you didn't hear that. Have you got a final word, Jackson, before we go?
No, he says we're controlled by the state. You know, we couldn't say it anyway. He
It's
is
very
controlled.
true.
Who controls
you?
you?
regurgitate everything that they say. You
Who's
regurgitate
paying you?
everything
How
that
much money do you
MI6 and
make?
the CIA puts out. It's actually incredible that
make a lot of
7,000
money from
people
this,
have died
don't
in
you?
Gaza since we last spoke, and you still won't call it a
Who
genocide.
pays you, Jackson?
My loyal fans and supporters, unlike you, who have
So
to
you do
rely
this for
on Big
hits, don't you?
Pharma and the military-industrial
That's what you
complex to fund your
The
abysmal
military
show.
pay us.
Jackson, thank you very much indeed. I hope you see the light in the future, but for the moment, thank you very much. Let me reassure everybody that nobody tells us what to say. He's getting on my nerves again because he just
Good,
won't
that's
shut
why
up.
I'm here.